Now let's talk about how to solve a rational equation. My first step is to multiply by the factors in the denominator. Which in this case is x minus 6. So everything would get multiplied by x minus 6. And so the reason I do this is you will see here in a second that when I multiply, some of this will go away. So this part goes away here. This part, because it multiplies times 0, is gone. And here I just distribute. So I would have x squared minus 6x minus 7 equals 0. Now I can solve like any other quadratic we've seen before. From there, I would just solve, I'll say solve like normal. That's the best way of describing it. So here I would go through and I would say, this is a trinomial, so I'll try a times c up here. So I'll have negative 7 times my b value down here, which is negative 6. What are factors of negative 7 that add up to negative 6? Well, I believe those to be negative 7 and positive 1. Since my a is 1, I just divide that power in half. So I have x minus 7 times x plus 1 equals 0. So here I have that x equals 7. Here I have that x equals negative 1. Now, we need to check these to see if they're extraneous. By that I just mean plug in and make sure you get the 0. When I plug in 7, I would have 7 minus 6 here is 1. So 7 over 1 is 1. So 7 minus 7, it is 0. That is a great answer. We just determined that this is a great answer. And then what we would do is we would check the other one to make sure it's a good answer. We plug in negative 1 minus, here negative 1 minus 6 more is negative 7. 7 over negative 7 is negative 1. This becomes positive 1. So negative 1 plus positive 1, that's also a good answer. Another easier way of doing this is just graph it. If we go over to graph, we type this in, we would have x minus the fraction with 7 over x minus 6. And then for y2, you put in your other equation, which is 0. And then you would just find where they intersect. Analyze graph, you look for the intersection here. And we're also going to do the intersection menu, analyze intersection on that spot. Those are the answers, and they're both good answers. So we did it correctly. So we checked it, and we saw that both those answers are good. So now you can try this one.